Good evening, good evening. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I am your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, as some of y'all might have watched from my earlier video, giving my thoughts on the earlier Nintendo Direct, well, this time I want to give my thoughts on the recent State of Play. That's right, we had a Nintendo Direct earlier today, and then a couple of hours afterwards, had actually a good handful of hours afterwards, had a State of Play from Sony. So, wanted to jump on here, do a video, and give my thoughts on this State of Play, and I want to really go into detail of one particular game that I've been looking so forward to, that's got some more details and finally has a release date. Yes, indeed. Finally has a release date. So I can't wait to dive into that. But overall, this State of Play was okay. Let's talk about some of the games that I'm looking forward to, or just some announcements that really kind of stood out to me. You know what I mean? So, they started off with a game called Baby Steps, which I gotta keep it 100. As soon as I saw Baby Steps and they showed some of the gameplay, I was immediately thinking about QWOP. Y'all know that PC game QWOP, where you got to use the directional keys and I think like the number pad in order to like move certain body parts to see how far you can get the track runner before, falling. That's literally what this game kind of made me think of, was QWOP. But it's weird. It kind of puts me in the mind of a walking simulator of some sort. I don't know. It was just weird. It's just really, really weird. But it's published by Devolver Digital, so I don't know. This was kind of one of those games where it was just like, I would have never thought of such a walking simulator. Like I said, I saw this immediately. I thought of QWOP. So, yeah. But it's the summer of next year. I don't see myself getting this game, but I'm kind of curious to see what kind of reviews it gets when it comes out, and also what kind of deeper gameplay trailers they may have as it gets closer to the release date. But that's one I'm gonna definitely keep an eye out for. They also showed off a couple of VR games as well. That Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord looked pretty cool. I definitely like the presentation from that game. I don't have PlayStation VR, but I can at least appreciate what they showed from that trailer. I thought it was really cool. Definitely made you feel like a Ghostbuster, just capturing the ghosts, get them into the ghost trap and all that. Like, I thought it was really cool. And there's co-op, multiplayer co-op. Thought that was really awesome. But yeah, it's actually coming out next month, October 26th. So that'll be here before you know it. And apparently, I don't remember this, but this game was apparently announced 2 years ago. Dang. I didn't think it had been that long, but hey. It looks cool, though. It definitely looks cool. And then, of course, this other one wasn't a surprise, but Resident Evil 4 Remake is getting the VR mode, which, honestly, I kind of saw that coming. I mean, they did the same with the others, so I'm not really surprised with them doing that. So, that's all I really took that as. And keeping on the Resident Evil 4 Remake discussion, so the VR version comes out as a free download this winter, and they are throwing in the Ada Wong Separate Ways DLC, which apparently comes out next week, September 21st. But not only that, they're also getting an update on the Mercenaries mode as well. But yeah, which of course the original Resident Evil 4, they ended up adding Separate Ways in the later version. Like, it wasn't originally in the GameCube version, but when they did the PlayStation version and beyond, they threw in the Separate Ways DLC. Because I think, if I remember correctly, the GameCube version only went as far as Assignment Ada, which I don't even know if Assignment Ada is in the default Resident Evil 4 remake as an unlockable. I don't know. I haven't beaten it, so I don't know. But, you know, that's cool that they're adding in the Separate Ways DLC so you can play Ada's part of the story, you know, just like in the previous version. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, Separate Ways DLC, you get to play as Ada Wong, so I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, September 21st is when that becomes available, so pretty cool. Of course, they showed some more Spider-Man 2, and I was very shocked at more of the details that they shared for Spider-Man 2. 65. Can you believe that? 65 different Spider-Man suits. Like, that's crazy. I can't even imagine. 65, that's crazy. But definitely talked a little more about the gameplay as you're going through the city, and they've made the map bigger, which, if I remember correctly, you can now travel through Queens and Brooklyn, so adding more to what they used to have. So I think that's really cool. And of course, you know, having the co-op, being able to, you know, play with others as well. But yeah, which that's an October release as well. If I remember correctly, that's October 20th, because I believe that comes out the same day as Super Mario Brothers Wonder on the Switch. So yeah, October is going to be a busy month. It's going to be a really busy month. But yeah, a very awesome trailer showcasing some a little bit more gameplay and just the suit customization for Spider-Man 2. It looks really, really cool. And, you know, not only able to customize, you know, cosmetically, but just, you know, the different suits, like 65 different suits with different capabilities. I think that's going to be interesting how they really go into detail with those. So I think that's awesome. I think that's really awesome. Insomniac Games. Shout out to y'all. I know got a couple of friends that work there. Shout out to Jeff Albert and Brandon Saprowski, Sippy, and I am Jeff Albert. Shout out to you both. But yeah, Avatar, not really into Avatar, so I just kind of bypassed that. But December 7th for those that are looking forward to that. I was digging the new Deep Earth PlayStation 5 faceplates and controllers. They did a red, silver, and blue, which I believe they have here. It was volcanic red, cobalt blue, and sterling silver. So, yeah, they look cool. I mean, I won't be getting them. You know, I'm fine with my white PS5, but I might consider getting controllers. I mean, I have 2 controllers, but you know, I might get one. But the red and blue ones come out November 3rd. And then the silver one comes out January 26th. So 2 in a few months and 1 beginning of next year. So not bad. Not bad. They showed off Roblox, but wasn't really feeling that. That's October 10th. You know, wasn't really feeling that. Helldivers 2 looked pretty interesting. Helldivers 2 looks like a game that would be fun to play with friends. So that's what I'm considering. That's a February 8th release for next year. This was initially announced back in May, but this was a sequel to the first one that was in 2015 or 14, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I haven't played the first one. I might, look at some gameplay or check out the first one. But, all I can say is this looks like it would be fun to play with friends. So, not saying that this is a guaranteed purchase, but I might keep an eye on it. Might definitely keep an eye on it. Foam Stars apparently is getting an open beta, which, like I said, it's pretty much a Splatoon 3 knockoff from Square Enix. But apparently the beta will start September 29th and conclude on October 1st. I mean, I might still check it out. I mean, I like Splatoon 3. I haven't played a lot of it, but I like what I played, so I might check it out, but I mean, it's not crazy appealing other than it's pretty much looks like a Splatoon knockoff. But I might still check it out just to see if it's fun. So, we'll see. A very interesting surprise was an expansion for Tales of Arise. That I did not see coming because, I mean, this is happening 2 years after the game originally released. It's like, wow, they waited 2 years to make an expansion? That's wow. But then again, it makes me wonder how long this has been in development. But it's like, dang, they're releasing an expansion 2 years after the initial game's release? It's kind of crazy. But yeah, Beyond the Dawn is the expansion. And it comes out in a few months, November 9th. So, I mean, it makes me wonder how much this expansion covers. I'm guessing it won't be a full price sort of thing, and I'm sure they may do like a special release for this game that you'll have the game plus the expansion for those that don't have the original game. I'm pretty sure they're going to do something like that, maybe physical and digital versions of that, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Before I go into the big MVP of this state of play, here's a quick word on the sponsor of this video, Game Beauty. Check them out. As you continue to enjoy content here at Blitzball Champ Gaming, be sure you take a moment to check out Game Beauty. Beauty inspired by gaming. Game Beauty brings to you video game related makeup and cosmetic products. You have products such as eyeshadow palettes, elemental pearl highlighters, eyeshadow brushes, liquid eyeliner pens by Akidiris, and even non-makeup products like graphic tees. They even have special collaboration makeup kits, such as this Persona 5 Heat Wave Brush Single, Metaverse Bundle, and even a Phantom Thieves limited edition makeup collection. Also remember that Game Beauty provides international shipping of $60 or more. And if you use the promo code BlitzballChamp, all in caps, you can get 10% off of your order. So be sure to use that to your advantage. Now, back to your regularly scheduled video. Enjoy, and thank you. All right, folks. Now we get into the big course, the big loads of meat and potatoes of an announcement, the finale of this state of play. Oh, yes, I've been waiting so long for this. I was even very anxious after the Summer Game Fest trailer. A new, updated Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer to close out today's state of play. And let me tell you, it was packed full of juiciness. Packed full of juiciness. They showed a good handful of stuff. Of course, things like Red 13, of course, which we know will be a playable character, a fully functional playable character. They also showed Cat Sif, thought that was really cool. They showed Yuffie, thought that was really cool. We even got to see a glimpse of Vincent Valentine. There was a scene that showed him, but just a lot of the different areas to explore. I mean, Cosmo Canyon, Nibelheim, Gungaga Village, or just Gungaga. The Gold Saucer. They showed the Gold Saucer. Not only that, the Chocobo racing. Going around exploring in different, riding on different Chocobos. Like, you had one flying, you had the mountain one. Like, it was so cool. Which makes me wonder if they're bringing back Chocobo breeding. I mean, I don't know. That might be a thing. But the Chocobo racing looked really cool. They showed some mini games. The speed bike. The speed bike mini game is back. They had like a boxing mini game, but just, man, when they showcased the Gold Saucer, I was like, yes. That was one of the main things that I was looking forward to seeing. They even showcased, it looks like you might be able to, I don't know, maybe you'll be able to play and control Sephiroth, because remember, if you play the original, the flashback with Cloud and Sephiroth, they showed some scenes with, gameplay with Cloud and Sephiroth together. So you might be able to play as Sephiroth as well. But they showed a good amount of stuff. They even showed some tag team moves. Like, they showed a tag team move between Cat Sif and Aerith, between Barrett and Yuffie. So I was just really, really, really excited. They showed the Junin Harbor with the firing of the Junin cannon, the parade march mini game. They showed that. It was just really, really cool. Like, I was really, really excited just with a lot of what they showed. And finally, we have a release date for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is February 29th of 2024. So, you know what? Not bad. Not bad. I was thinking it was going to be a little more further out, but not bad. Not bad. Now, I know originally, if I remember correctly, the remake was supposed to come out, if I remember correctly, in March, and then it got pushed to April. They did a little delay and released it like a month or a month and a half later, which is fine. They might do that with this one, but whatever they got to do to make sure this release ends up being excellent. So, February 29th, and it will be on 2 separate discs. So, it makes me wonder, so are they not doing like a game disc and a data disc? kind of like how they did with Remake. You know, this might be just two separate content discs. Maybe. I don't know. But we'll find out when the time comes. But what I really got a chance to see is there's another article, which I'll share the article in the description. And there's also an X link to it as well. But they talked about a couple of things, which, as a matter of fact, actually, you know what? I'll link the X post as well, because I think y'all should definitely check this out. But anyway, let me read what was said in the X post. There was a couple of messages from the development team behind Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So check this out, and also possible spoilers, especially for those that have never played the original. So just to give y'all a heads up, you have been warned that if you haven't played the original, or if you haven't played the remake, you have been warned. You might want to stop now, play this later, whatnot, but you have been warned. You have been warned. All right? Ready? Here we go. So going into the messages, this first one was from the producer, Yoshinori Kitase. It says, and I quote, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has been set for release on February 29th, 2024. This second installment of the Final Fantasy VII Remake project will feature elements from the previous game, as well as greatly enhanced features such as the vast world map to explore and synergy abilities with party members. The story will unfold more dramatically than ever before, with a rapid pace of major twists and turns. We know fans are dying to see one scene in particular. ... Final Fantasy VII Rebirth can be enjoyed on its own as a standalone adventure, with the party leaving Midgar to explore the wide world beyond. But for those wishing to deepen their understanding of the story, a recap of the previous game will also be provided. We hope that both fans and those who have never played Final Fantasy before will enjoy this game. So that's pretty cool. So if you haven't played the remake, they'll do a recap. They'll do a story recap. So at least that's cool. That's really cool. Okay. This next comment is from the director Naoki Hamaguchi. So Naoki Hamaguchi. Here's what his message says. Says, and I quote, "We are finally able to announce the release date to all of you. We have been working tirelessly on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth since the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and we can't wait for you to experience our labor of love. In this title, Cloud and his friends, who have fled Midgar, will be setting out on an adventure across an expansive world of untold adventure in pursuit of Sephiroth. While the main storyline is bigger and more ambitious than the previous game's narrative, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth also embraces the concept of free exploration. With compelling stories, fun mini-games, powerful monsters, and so much more to find throughout the world map. We hope you will explore this world in great detail, as nearly 100 hours of adventure awaits. We hope you will take this new Final Fantasy game experience in your own hands to enjoy." Yeah, y'all heard right. 100 hours. 100 hours. Which is a lot more than the previous installment. But another thing, free exploration. That's big. There wasn't really much of it in the remake, for obvious reasons, being that the whole remake took place in Midgar. So you can only do but so much with that. But with you being outside of Midgar and having the opportunity to explore the world, That is huge. That is really huge. And I can't wait. I can't wait to really check out the different areas that I was so used to seeing back in the original. Like, I'm pumped. I am very pumped. Okay, and then this next one was from creative director Tetsuya Nomura. This one says, and I quote, "This is the second title of a trilogy and covers between the start of the journey outside of Midgar to the midpoint of the original Final Fantasy VII. If Final Fantasy VII Remake was an introduction to the world and a preparation for this journey, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth serves as an illustration of the incidents that started the journey, an exploration of the people tied to it, and the journey itself heading toward its climax. Many elements were carefully selected for this title, and because this is a series, we have the unique opportunity to review and incorporate feedback from the previous title, such as by increasing the number of characters. I am sure that the bar for the next work will be raised even higher, now that we have included so many spectacular elements in this work. But even so, the entire team continues to work diligently and without compromise on its development. There is also the looming question of what fate awaits. Whether you have experienced the original title or will embark on this adventure with fresh eyes, we hope you will face the ending of this work on your own terms." So, after reading that, there's pretty much two conclusions that I've come to. Number one, I am under the assumption that this is going to cover up to Aerith's death. That's what I'm thinking this installment is going to cover. From right as you leave Midgar to the death of Aerith. And secondly, I would think that it's safe to assume that even though we didn't see Sid Highwind in the trailer, I would say it's assumed that you'll be able to have access to each of those characters in this installment. Because, I mean, we've already seen Cat Sith, we've seen Yuffie, Red 13, fully playable. We've seen a scene with Vincent Valentine, so I would think that we would be, and, you pretty much met everybody. Like, and what I'm saying is, comparing it to the original. So, the original game was 3 discs. Disc 1 was from the beginning to Aerith's death. Disc 2 was from right afterwards, where you go to like Icicle Inn and all that, all the way to the end of the raid on Midgar, the return to Midgar. And then disc 3 was pretty much the crater and going in and, facing off with Sephiroth. So that was how the original was. Now, being with the remake project, of course, the remake, pretty much everything that happened in Midgar before you leave. So I'm assuming that Rebirth is going to be as you leave Midgar all the way to the death of Aerith. And I think the third installment will be the rest. I think that will be the rest. So that's my best guess for this. But like I said, I don't know. I mean, 100 hours, that's a lot. And we all figured that this was going to cover a lot more than in the first part, the remake. So I'm very curious. I'm very curious and anxious to see if that lines up. Because, I mean, covering leaving Midgar all the way up to Aerith's death, there's a lot that happens. There's a lot that happens up to that point. You know what I mean? So, and then even, you know, a combination of disc 2 and 3 potentially equaling the third installment of this remake project, that's a lot of content as well. So I am very interested to see really how much this is going to cover. And like, I can't wait. I just can't wait. I'm excited. I'm very excited about this. And, you know, free exploration, the mini games, and like I said, they showed off the gold saucer, they showed off the chocobo racing, and, you know, the different chocobos that you can interact and ride on, which they could be bringing back chocobo breeding. Even the buggy, they even showed the buggy, or at least the vehicle that you can ride in, which I assume it's the buggy. You remember the buggy that you get once you trying to think, when do you get the buggy? Oh yeah, when you get out of the prison, Corel prison. Yeah. So there's that. But yeah, like I'm really excited just for what's loaded in this game. And like I said, you know, with Cat Sith being in it, and like I said, they didn't show Sid. But, you know, in the original, you meet Sid in Disc 1, you know, at Rocket Town. So, like I said, I'm very curious to see how this is going to go and what kind of twists and turns that they do. I know we saw some Rufus as well. We saw Rufus. Like I said, Cat Sith, Vincent, Yuffie, like, I'm excited. I'm really excited. You know, I cannot wait. And like I said, I'm assuming that this is going to end either at maybe the City of the Ancients or even the Temple of the Ancients. But honestly, I think it's definitely gonna end around that point. That's my prediction. But February 29th of 2024 will be the release of Rebirth. And like I said, this is the second part of the installment. This was the second part. And it makes me wonder, remember, when you think about it, Final Fantasy VII Remake originally came out on PS4 April of 2020. Rebirth is getting ready to come out February of 2024. So, just about 4 years later. So, with that being said, my guess is whatever this third installment will be, I'm guessing will probably launch maybe 2027 or 2028, perhaps. You know what? Now that I think about it, 2027 would probably be, actually, that would probably be likely, because if I remember correctly, 2027, I believe, would make it the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII, when the original debuted. Yeah, because that was 1997 release. So yeah, yeah. Now that I think of it, that probably would be when the third installment comes out on the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII. I think that makes sense. I think that makes all the sense in the world. But we'll see. We'll see. But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was definitely my MVP of this state of play. Overall, this state of play was okay. I would not say that it was better than the Nintendo Direct from today. But, you know, it was definitely, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. I mean, there was a few things that caught my attention. But, of course, MVP, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It has a release date, so I'm happy. I'm just really happy this finally has a release date. But yeah, end of February 2024. I can't wait. I might even go back through Final Fantasy VII Remake as it gets closer. I might redo, do another playthrough, or I might try to beat it on hard. But we'll see. We'll see. Pardon me. But that does it for this video. Don't forget to check out the links to Game Beauty, and also link to, like I said, I'll link the X post with the different comments and the threads from the development team. But yeah, let me know what y'all thought about today's state of play. What are you excited about? Were there any games that got your attention? Did you think it was a good, bad, decent state of play? Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you excited about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as much as I am? Let me know. Let me hear from you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it, and thank you so much for watching. This has been Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I am your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Everybody have a blessed weekend, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace. Behave. Love y'all. God bless.